Okay, so this is going over like what we did on Friday and what we did today. So to do the top, you gotta multiply the numbers. So 2 times 10 is 20. And you're going to add the exponent. So what's 9 plus 6? 15. Now we divide 20 by 4 and I get 5. And I subtract the exponents. What's 15 minus 5? There's my answer. All right. Here, we have a fraction. Anytime we have a fraction, that means we're subtracting. So I'm going to do x. I'm going to do the math on my side. Okay. And this is going to be -7. I know it's an even number. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I want to work out an even number so that you see what it is you got to do. Now I do the y's, -1 minus 7. But it's a -7 already. So this becomes a 6.
What's number?
I'm doing the homework. I need you to be quiet and sit down when we're done. Jesse, calm down because I'm going over homework and I'm recording this.
I'm sorry. Are you making a video right now?
All right. This is the only one that's negative, so that means it's going to switch and go to the bottom. So my answer is going to be y6 over x7. Put a box around your answers. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and do 7 and 8 because they're on the same screen. We're going to subtract. All right, so we subtract these. -6 minus 4, -10. We do the y, -3 minus -3. That gives me 0. But we just talked about it today. Anything that gives you 0 gets crossed out because it's not there anymore. We do the z, -4 minus the -5. That gives me a 1. The only person who's negative is the x, so that's who's going to get brought down to the bottom. So z, x, 10. All right, let us set up number 8. I'm going to go ahead and help you with the division of 175. Okay. We can divide 75 into 100, but we can reduce it. They're both reducible by 25. 100 divided by 25 is 4, and 75 divided by 25 is 3. Okay. I'm going to put your x and your y here. You're going to have to do the numbers. You remember we're dividing. -3 minus 5. Whatever you get for that number is going to go for the x. 3 minus the -3. Whatever you get for this number is going to go to the y. Then your last thing to do is to see if you have any negative exponents. And if you do, then you're going to have to switch. All right? If you end up having to switch it, that means that variable and its exponent is going to go down to the bottom with the 3. Let me go ahead and do it because I feel like you guys are going to be like, what? All right, so the x is negative. So that means the x is going to go to the bottom. So my answer is going to be 4y6 because they stayed at the top because they were positive. The 3 is at the bottom already because of the fraction. And the x is going to become a positive 8 at the bottom. I'm hoping that's going to help you out with the other ones that come out. All right, let me move the screen up, the page up so we can do the rest. Remember this, I only got 10 minutes to record this. So you're going to have to come back and smooth it down. All right, number 3. We do the inside first. I have a negative exponent right there. That means that negative exponent is going to go to the top. So y5, x3. Now I have the negative out here. Okay. All that means is that I'm multiplying. So y -20, x -12. I have 2 negatives. Okay, that means that they are both going to go to the bottom. So I'm going to have a fraction. 1 over, in alphabetical order, x goes first, y goes next. Okay, we're gonna do this at number 9. We're gonna switch everybody around first. So y is 2, stays at the top. The x and the z is gonna come to the top because it's a negative already. Okay. Now we distribute. It's gonna be y negative 4, z negative 4, and x negative 2. That's a lot of negatives, but all we're doing is switching their spots. All the negatives at the top are going to come to the bottom, and all the negatives at the bottom are going to come to the top. So x2, y4, z4. All right, I'm going to go ahead and help you set up number 4. Remember, you're adding these two because they're at the top. A negative 3 plus a 3 is going to give you 0. So that means the x is gone. You're left with 2 over 4, y negative 8. So what you have to do is you have to reduce the fraction of 2 over 4. And then you need to remember that that y is negative. You're going to have to switch its spot. So it's going to come up to the top. Number 10, you have a z0, so that gets crossed out. So all you have to do for number 10 is figure out, hey, who has the negative exponent? And then I need to move it. So if it's at the top, I need to move it to the bottom. If it was at the bottom, I need to move it to the top. So all you're doing is looking for the negative exponent and moving it to make it positive. It's the exact same thing you're doing for number 4. And then you have multiple choice over there. Okay, so if I took away the z, that means this is gone and this is gone. You got 2 answer choices. You got to figure out which one it is.
The D.
Mm-hmm.
Off the bat.
Yeah, why? Good job.
But look at the similarities.
Because that's a negative 3, and so what's going to happen to it?
You'll come to the bottom.
Yeah. The y didn't change, only the x did. All right, we do this one right here, we subtract. So x, negative 5 minus 1, that's negative 6. The y is negative 6 minus negative 2, that's negative 4. They're both negative, so that means it comes to the bottom. Shh. Move up for 6 and 11. All right, so here I'm going to help you set up the top by multiplying the top and adding the exponents. So 48, because I multiply the two numbers that don't have exponents, and I add the ones that have exponents because they're the same variable. Okay. So this one is from Friday. You have to divide the two numbers in the front, 48 and 12, and then subtract the 13 and the 6. All right, number 11, we're subtracting. So x, 5 minus 10, that's negative 10, negative 5. The y, 2 minus 3, that's negative 1. They are both negative. That means they both need to come to the bottom as a fraction, which means the answer choice has to be what? What's the only answer choice that has those two numbers at the bottom and has them positive? H is right. Hold on, we're not done. We got the back. All right, come on. I already worked out like 3 of them out of the 8 that you're supposed to do. All right, number 12. Number 12, what's the first thing you're going to do? What did Brayden say last time? What did you say last time? You got to do what? What do you do with this number right here to the other numbers? You're going to multiply, right? And because they're negatives, a negative and a negative is going to make a positive. So all you're going to do is multiply and then pick the one that matches it, okay? Negative 4 times negative 2. All right, number 16, I'm going to help you set it up first. All we're doing is subtracting. Remember, the z's are the same, so we cross it out. So that means my a is out. No, for the rest of them, I'm going to subtract. Negative 6 minus negative 4. That's negative 2. The y's are negative 9 minus 3, negative 12. So you should remember how to do that. All right, I need to hurry up because this is only this. All right, right here, these two are negative, so I'm going to switch them. So I need the y at the top with the 8. So this is my answer. This one right here, we're going to cross these out. So there is no more x's. And then I do negative 2 minus negative 3. Y'all should tell me, is the y gonna be positive or negative? Which answer choice is gonna be it?